On November 28, 2022, I crossed the Israeli border into the Gaza Strip through the Erez crossing to report from Palestinian territory. That day, I had no idea I would never see Gaza the same way again. All these images I'm about to show you are videos and photos I took during my reporting. Just crossing the border back then was a story in itself. We had to pass through 3 checkpoints, first Israeli, then Palestinian, controlled by Fatah, and finally Hamas. Many people ask me what the Gaza Strip was like. Gaza was difficult due to all the restrictions on movement and access to outside goods that residents faced. It was very common to see carts transporting products. Even then, we saw destroyed homes from Israeli bombings that had occurred that year and the previous one. There were also recently built houses that remained unfinished. The scenery also changed depending on whether you were in cities with better infrastructure, hotels, restaurants, or in refugee camps with much more precarious buildings and conditions. But Gaza was also a place full of life, especially since children made up half of the population. When schools let out, the streets would fill with children of all ages walking home in groups, chatting and playing. The cities had vibrant markets, but stores offered limited products. People were sometimes surprised to see foreigners, but children always smiled and enjoyed seeing outsiders. One stop was to watch the Brazil-Switzerland match at Campo Brasil, located in the southern Gaza Strip on the Egyptian border. The Brazilian embassy had organized an event to watch the World Cup match there, in the same place where Brazilian troops had been sent for the UN peacekeeping mission in 1957 after the Suez crisis. During the game, I talked to many people who cheered for Brazil as if it were their own team. The next day, I did a story about Palestinian women trying to rebuild their lives by making traditional embroidery. Exactly 3 years after that visit, it's impossible not to wonder, where are those children now? Those people who were watching the game, those women, what happened to them? Where are they living? I have no way to answer. Many people I used to talk to in Gaza are either no longer there or don't answer their phones anymore. Since October 7th, 2023, the Israeli government has blocked journalists from reporting freely in Gaza. Those who were authorized entered with the Israeli army at designated points and weren't even allowed to speak with Palestinians. For the past 2 years, the world has relied completely on Palestinian journalists to report what's happening in Gaza. But this is at risk, as Israeli attacks have already killed over 200 Palestinian journalists, according to Reporters Without Borders. That's why we, journalists who have covered and continue to cover the conflict, demand immediate access to the Gaza Strip, so reporters can enter and do our job, to inform.